Welcome to the Cappers Contest show here on Pub Sports Radio. We're coming off a tough week. 1 win, 3 losses, and a push, but we're 28, 24, and 3. If we have a giant couple weeks, we can be right in this thing. We still have hope. 28, 24, and 3, not a bad record. Hey, Jose, not bad.
No, it's not. It was a tough week in a lot of respects. But yeah, no, we're right there. We're in touching distance, only 5 games back of top 100. Just put together 2 big shows and we'll be fine.
Exactly. Big show went back-to-back 5-0 weeks is all we need. Let's go back to our contest, though. Why don't you walk us through what's gone on in our contest?
Well, I hit my I'm still in the midst of my pits of depression, actually, or still in the throes of it, hopefully coming on the end of it now. But yeah, I had a shit week. I wanted to throw myself into an abyss in many aspects, and I am no longer the sole leader of the Cappers Contest anymore. Drug Monkey RX, which I think is Damien Santori. I think. I'm not
Damon Santori. Drug Monkey RX is Drug Monkey RX.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I don't know. I saw Damon Santori today say that this was my last week and first, and I was like, oh, my feelings. That hurts. But we're in first place still, but tied right now with Drug Monkey. Slams up there as well. TJ, Garcia Gaming, obviously Low Shack, and C Brady all in touching distance. Brooklyn Funk Project. Johnny Guns, Gogi having a nice little week as well. Slatsy, Gerald Jones, Bobano. A lot of you guys taking one team in red and white and blue that I'm not going to be talking about. But a lot of you guys got lucky on that, and I commend you guys. Sometimes you need the luck to go your way.
Sometimes you do. No doubt about it. I'm trying to get this tweet out, but I guess I have too many things open. Let's get ready to work here. Let me take out some of these things that I have open, so maybe my computer.
It's a busy day. While you do that, Jimmy, let's just all come together, all our Canadian friends, as Canada faces Belgium right now. Let's all put our hands over our hearts and just let's get this, because that penalty was hurtful. Let's all get together now. Oh, Canada!
We're losing viewers.
Home and native land, true patriot blood.
Oh, that's awful. That's atrocious. That's okay. Let's. Thank you for your.
You're welcome.
Your care. Is Twitter down? I can't tweet this out.
It might be. Elon might have pulled the plug. Elon might have just said, "Fuck it, we're done."
All right. Well, let's just focus on the task at hand. Thank you guys all so much for joining us here. We have a ton of work to do. We got Chief Damon Santori in the house, and we have work to do right now. Apologize for being late. The Betting with the Bag show went a little long, and it's going to go long again on Friday, man. There's just so many games to cap. 1-3-1 when we needed success, but I look at it, we're still 28, 24, and 3. That's not a bad record, and I believe in us. I really think that we can take care of business, and I'm ready to attack this card. Now, I've made 7 bets already and haven't moved on any of the Thursday games, so I'm very interested to hear what the chat has to say. There's Paco Healy in the house. What up, Paco? Are you ready to get to work here, Jose, my friend?
Man, I sure hope so. Well, I need a hell of a week as well. So let's all get together, chat, and remember, I cried last week and I wanted 5-0. I had my worst week and we had one of our tough weeks. So let's fucking get it together here and let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. It looks like I did tweet it out twice. So let's see.
Hey, that's how bad you want people in the chat right now.
Okay.
That's how fucking bad you want people in here.
Let's go. Let's get to work. Good luck, you guys. Let's find these winners. We start with the first game on the board that we'll be live betting right here on Pub Sports Radio. Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions. Let's start with the line history here in this one. We have these Bills big favorites. Now, the one thing that I thought was wild was just that the Bills went home. I don't know why they went home. Where are they going to have time to prepare for this game? Lines open up at +10 at Bookmaker, dropped to 9.5. At Pinnacle, lines open up at +9 and are now at +10. When we go over to the cash flow here, we have 7,590 tickets in. 52% of the tickets, 51% of the cash on the Buffalo Bills. 66% of the tickets, 74% cash on the over. I apologize. That's not important. I'm surprised that the Lions aren't getting more love. Bills snapped their 2-game losing streak. A pretty dominant second half performance, but halfway through the second quarter, they were being outgained 181-12. Matt Milano was spectacular. They're dealing with injuries. Mitch Morse and David Quisenberry were in walking boots. 2 of their linemen were in walking boots after the game. I guess they're going to be able to play, I guess. You have Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Spencer Brown, Kyer Elam all out. Tre'Davious White's not playing this weekend. The Tremaine Edmonds is not going to be there. DJ Epinesa is not going to be there. I know how well Allen plays in the Dome, but I'm surprised at this. Lions look good, coming off 3 straight wins. They're playing good football. Their defense looks strong. Now, they won't have Okudah, Jeff Okudah with concussion protocols, which hurts them badly. What do you think of this spot here, Jose?
Shout out to Jalen Rose. I'm on the Lions. I like the Lions here. I think they could possibly win this fucking game outright, to be honest with you, Jim. I know a 9.5 point spread. I know the Bills are great. I know Josh Allen at home and all that stuff, but Lions have been playing good football, and this is a Lions team that can ball control and defense you. Obviously, their defense needs to get better, and it has gotten better as the year has gone on. But I think this team is good enough to hang tight. I like them plus the 9.5. I wouldn't be surprised at all if I ended up putting this on my Cappers contest. Jared Goff just shockingly playing well. Shockingly playing well. Is there something on my face, Jim? Is something okay? Is something wrong? Is everything all right? You're looking at me weird.
I think it's shocking to say that the Lions will win outright.
I think they can, yes.
I want to live bet the shit out of this and get drunk while celebrating American Thanksgiving. That's what I want to do.
You will.
But I don't know if I can. I'm not going to vote here on this one. Paco Healy saying lean Lions, but not strong enough for a contest play. Damon Santori staying off of it. Foul of Hound joining us says, "Can't wait to eat some steak." Respect. Yeah, I think this is. Just a
tough game, and you're right about them going back home. Obviously, you want to see the family before Thanksgiving, et cetera, but when are you going to prepare? So it's not a lot of prep time for ye old Buffalo Bills, and I think the Lions are good enough now.
If the game opens up and the Bills go down and score, I'd be very interested in getting the Lions live. I usually get all my action in the first 20 minutes of the game, but the Lions keep fighting. The bigger the Bills lead, the more appealing the Lions will become because they just keep fighting under Campbell. Okudah being out really hurts them. They have a bunch of players that if they could get in, like Ragnow would help a lot. Joshua Paschal, Charles Harris. I mean, DJ Shark is beat up. But I love the way Aiden Hutchinson's playing. Well, let's see. Is this going to make our card? Let's open this up. Our first vote.
Our first vote is up, and it looks like we've got a 60% vote on the Detroit Lions. So we'll obviously see because our numbers fluctuate, but 60% starting off for Detroit.
I am okay with that. Let's move on to the next game here for us. New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. We have another huge spread that we are dealing with here.
Why? It's so weird. I don't understand why this number is so big either.
9.5. Dallas is 10-point favorites right now at Pinnacle, and that -10 is juiced. Go over to the cash flow here. We have 6,947 tickets in, 56% of the tickets, 74% of the cash on the Giants. And I think what we found here is a public dog. I hope the Giants are not on my card. I find the Cowboys so much more appealing at this number than the Bills. I think that's because the Lions are a team moving in the right direction, and the Giants are a team moving in the wrong direction. Saquon Barkley, look, I know he's coming off an awful game, but he's not played a full season in so long. It's no surprise that he's starting to struggle a little bit here in the second half. You have Wan'Dale Robinson have a 100-yard game. Give them somebody other than Darius Slayton to throw the ball to, and then he tears his ACL late in the loss, so he's gone. You have a ton of injuries, a ton. Adoree Jackson, their cornerback, sprains his MCL. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. They've already lost their captain and safety, Xavier McKinney, from the Cabo accident. I think that the Cowboys are the play, I guess, the more and more I think about it. And the more I see the public on the Giants and the market moving towards the Cowboys, the more I think the Cowboys are the play. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, I guess I'm a part of the public. It's just 10 seems a little aggressive to me personally. Double digits. I don't know. We were going to buy the Cowboys off that high win last week. Right. Giants, what did they do last week, Jimmy? Were they on a bye last week? Because I don't remember. No, they lost, right? Was that
they lost to the Lions 31-18 at home.
Yeah, you could tell how much football I watch because after you know what happened, I just unplugged. I drove around San Antonio for an hour and a half. Just drove. No, just particular destination. Just drove for an hour and a half. It was awesome. But yeah, I ultimately lean Giants here, but I don't want to go against the sharp money. We've talked about that throughout the whole year. And it's funny. The Cowboys' record on Thanksgiving is horrific too. So. It's an annual tradition for a lot of Hispanic families to get disappointed by the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So we'll see if it happens.
I find this a different Cowboys team.
I agree with that.
Their defense is so strong. You have a bunch of character guys on defense. I used to expect the Cowboys to buckle under pressure. I don't expect them to do that here. No, look, I think their coach is terrible. But I think the key point of this is something we've talked about is you don't want to buy high and you want to sell high. So taking the Cowboys after they, drop their nuts in the mouth of the Vikings is maybe something that you don't want. And I can understand that. But for me, seeing the public and the big bets coming on the Giants and the market moving towards the Cowboys, seeing the Giants as a public dog makes it Cowboys or nothing. And should I be worried enough to vote? Maybe I should, because I see a lot of people on the Giants. Giants cover Giants. So,
well, let me tell you, 3 minutes are up, Jimmy, and I don't think you'll have to really worry because 76% on the Dallas Cowboys.
I like that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having the Cowboys here.
Puro pinche Cowboys this week, huh? Damn.
I would prefer it not on our card just because of how good they looked last week. But I'd much rather have the Cowboys on our card than the Giants on our card. And it looks like it's 76% that they're almost definitely going to be on our card. Let's move on to the final game on Thanksgiving. Again, we're going to be hammering them all live right here. Patriots, Vikings. I'm very close to betting the Patriots here. Very close. I think I want to have something on them pregame. Let's talk about the line history here. Opened with the Patriots at +3. They moved to 2.5. As we talked about on our Gridiron Gambler show, this opened up at Pinnacle at 7:05 p.m. on Sunday evening. And in 28 minutes, there'd been 10 cents of movement. 30 minutes after that, 7 more cents. And 1 hour after it had dropped, it moved to 2.5. And I agree. It's just that, God, you really want to fade the Vikings after they look worse than you could ever possibly imagine. 8,397 tickets in. Sharps are on the Patriots. 32% of tickets, 55% of cash. So I like the Patriots, and I think the Patriots will make my Cappers Contest card. I believe that it will. Patriots coming off their third straight win, 10-3 at home over the Jets, 14th straight win over the Jets. Marcus Jones on a punt return for a touchdown with seconds left. It was pretty wild, but they did control the pace of play. They were moving the ball, and they were completely shutting down Zach Wilson and the Jets. The Jets had 6 first downs and 103 total yards. Jets had 2 yards on 7 possessions in the second half. Now, David Andrews left late in the first quarter with a thigh injury and didn't return. He was thought to be out for a couple weeks, but he's not. He's going to be back under center, and that's a big deal. And their offense is so much better when they have him under center instead of James Ferentz, who looks terrible. The Vikings had their 7-game winning streak snapped in stunning fashion. They have the smallest average winning margin in 90 years. They've been outscored 231, 229, and they're 8-2. But I think they can bounce back here. The question is this: do you think that Mac Jones can abuse this horrific secondary? Because if he can't, then the Vikings will cover. And this Viking secondary is so bad. And, they lose Cameron Dantzler. Then they bring in their 4th-round pick, Caleb Evans. And then they lose him. So Andrew Booth got his first career start. They just looked awful. So, Jose, what do you think here? And I know you despise this Pat squad. Is that going to make you move on the Vikings?
Oh, God. I am just already just fucking triggered, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie to you. Is it the bottle of Roscato? Is it that? I don't know. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings here. The offense is just horrible. Mac Jones is not a good quarterback. I'll take the Vikings pissed off coming off of a shit game. The issue is this is fucking prime time. I don't want to bet on primetime Kirk Cousins. We've seen the stats. And, maybe it's just like a pitcher's day night splits. I don't know. I still don't buy into those all completely. But ultimately, it's Vikings or pass for me. I think this Patriots squad is shot. And I would love to see what they do with Jordan Jefferson, a.k.a. Justin Jefferson. I always call him Jordan for the LSU quarterback. I don't know why. And then Dalvin Cook. So I'll take the Vikings here. I hope Bill Belichick has an arrhythmia this weekend and does not coach. Fuck him straight to the face.
Wow. Right in the face. I'm going to make the Patriots a contest pick. So I'll have them in the contest. I don't want anything to do with the Vikings. They got punched in the mouth and they couldn't punch back. I think it's good that they're getting back on the field 3 days later, but
it's just like a high school situation. You imagine Kirk Cousins, he gets punched in the mouth. You think Kirk Cousins is going to fight back and do anything? No. It's just you can really tell a lot about a team by their quarterback's personality, and Kirk Cousins folds up shop pretty quickly. And so does Mac Jones.
Well, let's put it up and see if this will make our card.
60, and I have to end poll before I say it. 65% on the New England Patriots.
Might get there. All right, let's move to Sunday, and we start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Cleveland Browns First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. There's going to be rain. There's going to be high winds. It's the highest winds of any game here. Tampa -3.5. Let's take a look at the line history. I did bet the under in this game, which I'm a little nervous about. But let's start with the line history for the side. Opened up at 3. I'm surprised it's a 3.5. It's a 3 right now at -114 for the Bucs. And in fact, Pinnacle's never really taken it off the 3, but they did make that 3 juice to -126, which is, I guess, a 3.5. But right now it's a 3 at -114. See if the total has moved at all. Okay, it's juiced to the under again. That's good. At least there's been a 14-cent move to the under. That makes me happy.
Under game script. Who do you think benefits more from an under game script, the Browns or the Bucs?
I don't know if I could talk about benefiting. What I can talk about is the Bucs come in fresh off a bye week, and I trust their defense so much more than the Browns. So from an offensive game script, I still think there's question marks around the Buccaneers. We also just saw the Browns off a really poor rushing game. They were completely neutralized. The Chubb, 14 carries for 19 yards. As the Browns as a whole ran 26 times for 80 yards. I think we'll see better than that. But a huge angle here. If I can bet the Bucs at -3, I would. The Ethan Pochich, their center, being hurt is a huge loss for the Browns. And I tried to hammer it home on the Gridiron Gamblers, but just for you, those of you who didn't see the show, Pochich was their backup center coming into the year, but they lost Michael Dunn. Is it Michael Dunn? Who is their initial center? Yeah, Michael Dunn, whatever, early in the year. But this Pochich wasn't even supposed to be there. Oh, it's Nick Harris. Sorry, of course, it was Nick Harris. Nick Harris suffered the injury in the preseason. But Pochich's numbers by Pro Football Focus, 83 overall grade this year. That's 0.3 away from being the best center in the entire league. Only Creed Humphrey on the Chiefs is better. So now you have Frohold. So you have their fourth. This is their fourth string center. Frohold's grade against the Bills was a 50. A 50. That's what's going to happen now. As soon as Frohold came under center, the Bills completely took over the football game. And if I can get the Bucs at -3, I'm going to bet them quickly. But 3.5, the hook is dangerous. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, I like the Brady's here. It's funny because that win in Germany, and sometimes that's all it takes. A little lads trip to Germany gets the guys going. Maybe a couple weeks after divorce, maybe you get some papers for a lawsuit dealing with some company that you might have filmed commercials with. I don't know. But I think, honestly, the Brady's here get the job done. I've just not been a Jacoby Brissett guy all year. You mentioned that this is his last shot to get a starting job. I think he's horrible, and I don't think he should have I probably backup, but if you're having him as your backup, I don't know how you're feeling. So give me the Bucs here. I think Lenny will be fine. Godwin and Evans back pumping, and the defense rolling again. So obviously concerning that it's on the road in Cleveland. How many times has Tom Brady went to Cleveland? But I ultimately decide I'll take the Bucs here to -3.5.
I wish it was a 3. I can get the 3 at -125 right now. I want to bet the Buccaneers. I'm going to bet the Buccaneers.
Well, a lot of people are agreeing with you, Jim. 69%, extremely nice on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers there.
I'm nervous about that hook, but I would like that minus. I'm going to keep a very close eye on it. I think that 3 is live, very, very live. Maybe I should just move on it now. I'm going to keep an eye on it all evening. I'd probably move on it. Okay, let's move on. The next spot on the board, we've talked Bucks, Browns. Now we have Bengals, Titans. And look, if we didn't study markets, I'd already be on the Titans.
Same.
But we know what the Sharps have been doing week in and week out. And here, we'll go over the line history and you'll see what's going on. But the Bengals opened up at -2. They fell to -1.5. They're now -2.5. Also, the big bets are all on the Bengals here. 40% of the tickets and 81% of the cash.
I mean, ultimately, who do you feel better about having money on, Joe Burrow or Ryan Tannehill?
Well, Tannehill looked excellent last game. I have no concerns backing Tannehill. But we went up against the Sharps last week and we went 1-3-1. We just can't keep doing it.
I agree.
And it makes me want to take the Bengals just because I know there's going to be people wanting the Titans because I wanted the Titans.
I wanted the Titans too. I did a little, reset after having a shit week this week. Fuck, Belgium scored. But I had a little reset and I was, did a thing. I was like, all right, let's just try to predict the lines, guess the lines, see where I had it. I put this at Tennessee -2.5. I was like, whoa, Cincinnati favored. I was like, okay, well, I'm taking the Titans this week. But I drive slow, as you would say. I don't want someone to pop the trunk and get the gat and lay me out on the street if I take the Titans. So Bengals would be my initial lean here, just market wise. And you're right about fucking going against the Sharps. It's not a fun time. That's not a fun time.
No, and I mean, we have some more time to talk about it, so let's discuss it. Mixon is in concussion protocol. I think the fact that it's moved to 2.5 says that he will be available, but that's just, obviously looking at the market. Jamar Chase is practicing this week. I didn't think he's going to be in the lineup, but I think, again,
He's expected in too. They already said it today that he's expected to play. So
The market's telling us that he's going to play.
yeah.
So
And
the
then,
Titans come.
I was gonna say if he wasn't, I would be on the Titans even more. But yeah, go ahead.
The Titans coming off extra rest, and they seem to handle all these injuries so well, and it looks like Dupree will be back in the lineup, but they have huge issues on defense. Autry and Fulton also were lost last game. You have Amani Hooker and Elijah Molden not playing, and I guess you have Dupree back, but I don't want to vote because I'd be using a Bengals vote just to ensure that we're not on the Titans, but I don't really want to be on the Bengals. So I'm just going to sit here and hope it's a 50-50 kind of a split.
Yeah, I mean, it very might well be. This is a tough game, one of the better games on Sunday. They had to throw us some bones on Sunday. But yeah, ultimately it's a tough game. It's a very tough game. And like Gerald Jones is saying in the chat, Titans playoff revenge game. Man, I could easily see Vrabel using that shit up and just stirring it and getting the boys going like that. And I don't know if you feel this way, Jim, but the Bengals, to me, finesse team. Titans, obviously, are ground and pound, like beat you up kind of team. I always seem to lean the ground and pound teams there. And especially during Tractor Cedo season right now. This is prime Tractor Cedo season. Rested. I don't have the stats offhand, but I don't know if the Bengals are particularly great at stopping the run. So it's a tough game. If it wasn't for the Sharps, like we mentioned, I'd be all over Tennessee here.
Well, I don't want the Bengals, but I just voted on them to make sure that the Titans don't end up on our card.
Well, you're going to get your wish here, Jimmy, because it is essentially a 50-50 split here, 50% on the Tennessee Titans. It's a tough game, fucking tough game. So
very, very tough game. Fun to watch. Let's move on. Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins head to Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida for this one. Pretty nice weather. The Texans have been backed by the Sharps week in and week out, and that has come to an end against this dangerous Dolphins squad. I came close to taking the Dolphins first half -7. I didn't. Maybe I'll rue the consequences of that. But Dolphins open up -11, already hit -13.5. Other books had already moved it to 13.5. Pinnacle didn't. Pinnacle had this at 12.5 until 12:23 today, this afternoon. Go over to the cash for this one. The highest amount of line value, according to Sports Insights, is on the Dolphins. 86% of tickets, 83% of cash. The teams with these huge spreads have been succeeding. ROI is strong. The Texans looked atrocious against the Commanders. They were outgained 246-5 in the first half, fewest net yards in the half franchise history. Davis Mills looks terrible. -1 yard passing in the first half. Guy's abysmal. I expect Dameon Pierce will bounce back after a real tough game. Ran 10 times for 8 yards. Brandon Hooks, Nico Collins are back. They missed Stingley, the third overall pick. He's been out with a hamstring injury. The Dolphins come in fresh off their bye week, and at home they've been dominating. And it's Tua, 10 touchdowns, no picks since week 7. 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this year. 7-0 in games that Tua's finished is Miami. Third best passing offense, first in yards per attempt. He went from completing 42.3% of passes of at least 10 air yards in his first 2 years to completing 68.7 of those. And look who came up. Trent Sherfield caught 4 passes, 63 yards. Alec Ingold caught 4 for 45 yards. It's not just Waddle and Tyreek Hill anymore. And they have a running game with Jeff Wilson. And they have a defense now with Chubb. But they are 27th in third down defense. I mean, they still have some holes. And they lost Emmanuel Ogbah to a triceps injury. I don't know what to say here. I know I don't need to worry about us being on the Texans.
I don't hate the Texans this week, though, if I'm going to be honest. This is a classic, look-ahead spot for them. I mean, for the Dolphins, at least. Like Coyne's saying, Miami has a big game on deck versus San Francisco, going back to his old stomping grounds. I always tend to question. I don't have, factual statistics to back this one up, but I always question a first-year coach coming off a bye, how that team does, et cetera, et cetera. And let's state the obvious here. Mike McDaniels is not an intimidator. Mike McDaniels is a let's do this together. We're one. We're all equal here kind of guy. I don't know. It just feels like one of those like slow halves for the Miami Dolphins to start this game off. So I wouldn't have hated that 7 you thought about for the Texans or for the Dolphins, excuse me. But I don't know. It's just a tough game. I always try to lean towards the plus side, the underdogs on these big spreads. But yeah, that being in Miami makes it even tougher. And I think you're right about Dameon Pierce. I think he has a good game here. So that leads me to think like maybe if they ball control it like the teams do, that's what everyone does when they're not better. They just hold the ball, run the ball, and then defense it. But the Texans defense stinks. So we'll see. We'll see if Tua can keep it together here.
The 7's still available. It's moved 5 cents to -115. Still available for me. So
I wouldn't hate taking the Texans +7, just because I think this could be a slow start. But it's a tough game. It's like I could easily see what you people are saying, and Tyreek Hill could go deep twice, bang bang, 14-0, and that's it. Game over. Texans aren't going to be able to run the ball down 14, so that's something that easily could happen as well.
You lose your job in Canada for saying "you people."
You're right.
Just so you know.
You're right. Well, I'm brown, so you know how that works. If I was white, then it would be tough.
All right, well, let's see if this makes our card. Let's see.
Miami -13.5, 64%. So we'll see when it gets to the end game. But only 2 so far that I've locked down for sure as probably making our card.
I don't think that makes our card. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Chicago Bears 3-8.
I'm not ready to talk about this game yet. I'm not physically ready, Jimmy.
Well, I don't know. There's some interesting moving parts here with the Jets, and you should lead us into it because.
Well, I'll start. You know what? You're right. I'm taking the Jets this week. Why am I taking the Jets this week after they gave me one of my top 5 most traumatic losses I've had? I was on the golf course watching the game, and when it happened, after that, my game went to shit. The guys went out to eat after. I drove around for a half hour, 1.5 hours, just driving around San Antonio thinking, why do I do this to myself? Why do I watch football? Oklahoma State sucks. The New York Jets suck. What am I going to do? But thank God for that whiny bitch, Zach fucking Wilson, being exactly who we all kind of, we can judge a book by its cover when it comes to Zach Wilson because he looked like a whiny bitch when he got drafted. And he turned out to be that whiny little prissy bitch that we all knew he was, So he got benched because he said, oh, it wasn't my fault. I went 9 of 3 there with like 36 yards. It's not my fault. So, no, we get the white guy in there, Mike White. I actually would have rather Joe Flacco start this game, but sure, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Flacco got an appearance in this game if Mike White was bad here. So I also think, and this is primarily what I'm basing my cap off, I would be shocked if Justin Fields played this game. I would be really surprised. He just tweeted like a couple minutes ago. It's kind of like a ligament AC joint injury. He even said the pain was high today. Why are you going to subject your franchise quarterback to playing one of the best defenses in football on the road when you want to lose anyways? I don't think that Fields plays this game. I think the Jets, I thought this game with Fields and Wilson was a pick'em. And, truthfully, I would have leaned towards the Bears. But who the fuck is the backup? Trevor Siemian? Trevor Siemian, former Jets quarterback for 1.5 games before he's getting his fucking ankle dislocated. He stinks. So I'm going to trust the white guy. I'm going to trust Mike White. The Jets are good at bouncing back after losses here. So give me the Jets defense against Trevor Siemian here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Jets defense outscored the offense.
I don't hate on Siemian. I don't think he's a terrible backup, but look, Justin Fields has been so good running the ball, but he hasn't been very good passing the ball. And they have some dangerous weapons in Kmet and Mooney that aren't really being utilized at all. I'm not saying that I want anything to do with the Bears plus 4.5. We do have
No, it's all right. The children are around. Canada's playing. We understand. We all understand. Carter, by the way, shout out to Carter the climber, by the way. But no, I get it. This is a tough game for everyone. Fields an injury. Do you really want him? And we can end the poll here and just move on because it's a 50-50 split, essentially. I'll be on the Jets. I've had them on my fucking card the last couple of weeks, and it's cost me, but I fucking hate myself. So that's why I'm a Jets fan. And we move on.
I'm interested. I find it interesting that there's been 47% of the votes on Chicago. Very quickly here with just the cash flow, so we're all on the same page with that spot. You have 61% of the tickets, 69% of the cash on the Jets, and the Jets have now been juiced to minus 122 over at Penny. So then the Jets are a minus 5.5 at Bet365 now.
I think the Jets win this game by double digits, to be honest. I think this is a 10-point Jets win. Not like 21 points, guys. I think it's a 10-point Jets win. They just take care of business. The Bears don't score over 21 points, and we just walk away. And we continue talking about how Zach Wilson is a prima donna bitch who doesn't deserve to play in the NFL and fucking sucks.
All right, well, let's move on to the next spot on the board.
He fucking sucks, Jim. He's the worst. Why would anyone draft a quarterback from BYU? Why would anyone draft a quarterback from BYU? Just take the Ohio State guy. Fucking bullshit.
I fear that you could even have another tough weekend, but we'll talk about that another time. Atlanta Falcons, Washington Commanders, FedEx Field. It'll be 55 Fahrenheit, but showers, an 11-mile-per-hour showers. Let's discuss this spot here. We'll start with the line history here. Washington opened up a much smaller number. Some offshores had Washington at -3. Pinnacle had Washington -3. Washington moved to -4.5, but there's been a big move towards Atlanta today. There's been a 12-cent move towards the Atlanta Falcons today, which is pretty interesting. Take a look at where the sharp money lies in this one. We have, where is it? Here we go. Not a lot of tickets in, but 56% of tickets, 76% of cash on Washington. We see it move from 3 to 4.5. We're starting to see buyback for the Falcons, which is, I guess, a little surprising. But we all said on the show that 4.5 was probably too many points. Now Kyle Pitts tore his MCL. He's likely out for the rest of the season. The running game is what the Commanders stop. You know, they shut down running games. They've won 5 of 6, and they completely dominated the Texans and completely shut down Damian. So, we also might have Chase Young back in action. And Dreamboat Rivera also mentioned that it's going to be Heineke's team, which I think that does galvanize troops a little bit. Yeah. But this is a lot of points for a 2-3 team at home in the Commanders. What do you think of this spread at 4.5?
Even though my left hand is up and it always will stay up, shout out to the Commanders. Still a fucking bop. I love that song. I always just, whenever I'm thinking about the Commanders, I'm just always thinking the haters can't stand us, man. They really can. I fucking love it, man. It's a great song. That being said, I'm on the Falcons here. I've been on the Falcons all year. I got brutalized by a push last week. I would have really appreciated a win so I can make myself feel a little better about my record from last week. But I've been on the Falcons a lot. Kyle Pitts has not done shit all year. He's just been a body to distract people, essentially. If you're a Kyle Pitts fantasy football owner, you know this. He's not done anything in the red zone. And truthfully, I don't know how the Falcons are good. And it racks my brain just watching Mariota just dive into the end zone recklessly, like just not giving a fuck. Jacoby Brissett and Marcus Mariota, you won't see this comparison happen. Mariota is what Jacoby Brissett, what people thought he was going to be. He's been good this year, and I don't know how. So I like the 4.5 here. Chase Young coming back for the Manders would be interesting, but I'm not going to bet on them in his first game back, maybe his second. Yeah, I'll take the 4.5 with the Falcons here, no problem.
That's wild. I can't trust the Falcons. I feel like the Commanders have all of the ability to shut down everything that Atlanta will deliver. We It's still a game time decision. Lit picks. We're not sure at this point. Still a game time decision. I like your breakdown, and it kind of similar to Andy's breakdown, saying it's too many points. I would be happy to be on the Commanders at -3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like a 3. It should be like a 3-point line. Like, truthfully, it should be like Manders by 3. I could easily see them last second field goal. They win by like 4 on a touchdown, something like that.
Yeah, AOD agreeing with you on the Falcons. Let's see the final tally. I'm curious.
You guys, so people are starting to hear the Manders. The Manders is a great name. I love the Commanders nickname just because of all the nicknames. You can go from commies to Commanders. 54% on the Falcons. And we're done. By the way, I love how you pronounce the next quarterback that we're going to talk about. I love how you pronounce his name.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. Next up for us is Broncos Panthers. And I know you're talking about the French Canadian Sam Darnold.
Is he
Darnold.
Is he really? I mean, let me tell you this. Going back to the Jets, he's the best. Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's the best Jets quarterback that I've seen drafted in the last long while. It's been fucking Geno, fucking Sam Darnold, and baby dick Zach Wilson. And I'll tell you, it's easily Darnold, Geno, Wilson, and obviously Mark Sanchez and Ryan Fitzpatrick are another pedestal because they're Hall of Famers in my world. But Sam Darnold is back, baby, and he's going to come for that ass.
I don't know whose ass he's going to come
Russell
for.
Wilson's.
I tell you what, I don't know what Sam Darnold's going to give you. I don't know. But I did bet the Broncos team total under 19.5. I'd like to see what it is right now.
What a joke these Broncos are. What a fucking absolute. It just baffles me that this has happened.
There's been no movement. It's under 19.5 -120. The Panthers D at home has been very strong. By the way, this has moved to 2 at a few books. I'm sure we have the 2.5.
Yeah, road favorite Broncos. No thanks.
It's been very difficult to see the Jekyll and Hyde show that the Panthers put on home and road. They've been really good at home, and I thought they were pretty good in that 13-3 loss at Baltimore last week. And I'm looking forward to see what Sammy Darnold can do out there. But they need Corey Littleton. He injured an ankle in the first quarter. There's been no update whether he's going to be able to play. But their defense was strong, and their defense has been very strong at home. I think about their last 2 home games. They beat the Bucs 19-3, and they beat the Falcons 27-17 or something like that. So I trust that this Panthers team can play hard here. I still am afraid to back them. It's very difficult. But the Broncos, I don't understand. Russell Wilson has Cortland Sutton and Kendall Hinton, I guess. But Latavius Murray, who was plucked off the Saints practice roster, is by far the number one. And he's okay. You know, he's trustworthy. He doesn't fumble the ball. Melvin Gordon fumbles the ball, and he's been waived. So now you have Marlon Mack and Ozigbo backing up Latavius Murray. I mean,
Latavius Murray, who's been the hot topic of fantasy football this week. He's been the guy everyone's been grabbing. So the fantasy football people think he's going to have a nice day. I don't know, man. I'm not on the Latavius Murray train. I've jumped off the Russell Wilson bandwagon at the beginning of the year. I really thought this Broncos team was going to be worth a shit. But no, Nathaniel Hackett is just an excellent example. You don't have to be good at your job. Just be a nice guy. Just be a nice guy. Just be funny. And you'll make it somewhere. Because he sucks. And he's just laughing it up, yucking it up, and makes the fucking Broncos owners love him. And we're going to see him in a year go back to Green Bay, which is going to be hilarious. So give me Darnold. I don't like the quarterback carousel we're doing with the Panthers, but I mean, Baker Mayfield's horrible. Here's something I can do. I can point out a quarterback that fucking sucks and cannot play NFL level. Sam Darnold is borderline. Sam Ehlinger sucked. Called that out immediately. Baker Mayfield, he's the biggest joke we've seen in the last 5 years. Is he the worst quarterback to have multiple commercials? I don't know. I don't know. But give me the fucking Panthers here. And the team that actually cares. They're trying. But we'll see here. 3 minutes are up, Jim. And shockingly, I did not expect this. 70% on the Denver Broncos.
That's nuts to me. We're just. This is how we lose. We go up against the Sharps like we did last week and lose. 53% of tickets, 70% of cash on the Panthers. If I had known, I would have voted on Carolina.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are going to make my card. Sam Darnold, let's go.
I'd be interested in what his rushing prop is going to be because he's going to be running for his life. I just hope he doesn't throw some pick sixes to screw me here.
Sam loves an interception. Let me tell you that. Not afraid to throw an interception at all.
The market is also uncomfortable with the money coming in on Carolina. They've gone from 2.5 to 2. Some sharp books like BetChris and Bookmaker. I hate that we're on the Broncos. I would have voted. I was worried that the Panthers were going to be on our card more than the Broncos.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't think that we were going to get 70% of the Broncos, but I'll be on the Panthers this week.
I just hate when we are so public. Oh, God. That's just... well, we'll see. But... all right, let's move on. Ravens, Jaguars next up. This is a pretty fascinating line. Jaguars open up 3.5-point dogs. They're still 3.5-point dogs at Pinnacle. And by the way, it's a pick 'em at 3.5. So I think that's telling. I think that's really telling that the market is not backing the Ravens here. I imagine that we will, but 62% of tickets, 75% of cash on Baltimore. So at least that makes me feel a little better. But why are the supercomputer models, MIT students saying, "Oh, we'll take all your Baltimore money"?
Yeah, I like the Ravens here too, shockingly enough. I mean, after that shitty offensive performance, can we see something from Lamar Jackson? Can you fucking want to get paid multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, please? Can you have one day where you have 4 touchdowns, Lamar? One time? So you can warrant that big payday you've been fucking talking about all year, my man? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's banged up. He certainly looked a little banged up here, but it looks like they'll get Gus back. That will help take some pressure off of him. But I feel like I have to vote Jacksonville to keep Baltimore off our card. I just know that we tend to take these public spots, but this isn't that bad. The only reason why I'm against it is because why would these sharp books give a 3.5 out with no extra juice?
Well, I'll say this. I mentioned Mike McDaniel's off a bye. I have a little bit of trust issues with new coaches off a bye. Doug Peterson's been there, done that shit, won a Super Bowl, knows how to, get his team going after a bye, et cetera, et cetera. I don't, I guess, necessarily hate the Jaguars, but I have trust issues, And what's funny, people have anointed this Ravens defense as being just elite again. And I was like, whoa, the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season, this Ravens defense was horrible. They make one trade for Roquan Smith, and now we're anointing them as the fucking 2001. Was that the year? 2001 Ravens? Yeah. No thanks. I passed on this game. I guess I'm leaning Ravens if I had to pick a side, but it's a tough game. I don't like road favorites all too often.
I feel like I need to vote Jacksonville just to keep Baltimore off the card. I won't do that. Maybe I should do that.
It's a tough one. Get your votes in because you guys have about a minute left. It's I don't know. Trevor Lawrence also something that scares me, but if Lamar Jackson is banged up, that's an issue because he's ultimately in I don't want to get hurt mode because I want to get my payday as well. And he can't say that he's hurt because then it's going to perpetuate that fucking narrative. There we go. Is the word I was looking for. Narrative of Oh, he's always hurt. He's a running quarterback. He's slight of frame, et cetera, et cetera. So
Well, I voted Jacksonville to keep Baltimore off the card.
thank you, Christopher and Tom and Key, 2,000 Ravens. So there you go. And the poll 3 minutes are up 57% on the Baltimore Ravens. About to call them the Orioles. We move on to another game, and I'll mention this, Jim, as we talk about Chargers, Arizona Cardinals, not Diamondbacks. Kyler Murray expected to play this week.
That doesn't bother me. Did it change the line? It didn't even change the line.
Yeah, it's I was about to say.
Oh, it did. Sorry, it changed the line dramatically.
Oh, did it? Because I've got Chargers 4.5 here for the contest.
Yeah, it moved at 2:30 p.m. So they must have just announced that.
Yes, yeah. I wouldn't have expected it to move that much. Like, what are we thinking here?
It's at 3.5 now. 3.5.
Okay. So this game has become if you like the Chargers, you can't take them in the contest because you're getting 1.5 or a point worse. And if you like the Cardinals, take the Cardinals here because you're getting a better line. But I don't like the Cardinals. I'm not going to trust Kyler Murray. I'm not going to trust a team that's worse at home as well. No thanks. Cliff hasn't been good. Just ultimately a pass game.
He's been so bad at home. The thing is, the Chargers need this badly, but the bigger bets have come in on Arizona. 32% of tickets, 46% of the cash, just 580 tickets in. I doubled up on the Chargers. I'm concerned that it was a sell low spot on Arizona, which is what I'm doing. But more importantly, I think the Chargers need this win. Their season's on the line, and they're going to be going all out immediately. And sure, they might not have Mike Williams, but this Joshua Palmer stepped up in a big way. You got Palmer on one side, and finally Keenan Allen back on the other side. And that's what I need. I need that. And I'm obviously Mike Williams is a gamer, but Eckler is dangerous, and I can trust Herbert here. And it just feels like this team doesn't care much about Kyler Murray. He just I don't know. I just get a feeling like he's lost the room.
Yeah, he's a dick. He's cut out of the Zach Wilson cloth. Guess where he went to school? Oklahoma. No wonder he sucks. All Oklahoma quarterbacks suck. Not a surprise there. Bradford, Mayfield, fucking this slapdick. I'm not even counting Jalen Hurts because he went to Alabama.
The Cardinals have been so bad at home. They've been pretty good as a dog. I thought Greg Dortch was very good. And, it's because we see no Rondale Moore, no Zach Ertz. We've seen Kyler Murray with these weapons. Now you take these weapons away. Is Kyler Murray going to trust his hamstring and leaving the pocket? I think that you can't take the Chargers -4.5 because it's gone down to -3.5. I think that's a valid thing.
Oh, and good point, Christopher Commenty. Don't forget they fucking lost 2 coaches in Mexico because they couldn't keep their fucking hands to themselves. And one of the coaches clearly looks like, if you just look at him, you're just like, oh, that guy gropes women. That guy for sure gropes women. So yeah, no, Cardinals, fuck no. And by the way, they cut all that from Hard Knocks too. Hard Knocks gets the first fucking thing in 6 years that people are like, whoa, they're going to show that? And then they're not, of course, they scrub it. So no fucking way am I taking the Cardinals here.
No, I get it, but I think the 4.5 might be a little much for the Chargers. God, I hope they smash. Let's see what the final tally is.
Let us see what the final tally is indeed. And Jesus.
Wow.
88% on the Los Angeles Chargers. So fuck the line movement. We don't care.
Wow.
Going with the Chargers. Wow.
Makes me a little nervous. I'm on it though, so I'll be easy for me to cheer for. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. I moved on this. Raiders, Seahawks. I backed the Seahawks here. I think they're a good football team, and we know the Raiders are not. Seahawks coming in off a bye. Why wouldn't we back the Seahawks here? I get you'd probably rather have a 3.
No, I'm right there with you, Jim. I'm right there with you. Off a bye, better coach. Raiders coming off of a big emotional win, whatever, overtime win at the Seahawks, a tough place to play historically, and a fan base that did not think their team was going to be good this year. So they're obviously a little energized. Give me the fucking Seahawks here. I thought this was a pretty weird line as well. I thought, obviously, like you said, I'd rather have the 3, but I think this is a Seahawks touchdown victory.
68% of tickets, 70% of cash on the Seahawks. Also, I only took full game. We've seen the Seahawks kind of start slowly. They started very slowly in Munich, but I don't think that's Danny Lopez doubling up here. The Raiders are just a fade. And if we can buy low on the Seahawks because they lose 21-16 in Munich, Dennis Garcia, who loves his football team, talks about, game was at 6 a.m. for the Seahawks, body clock wise. The Raiders also are going to lose Deron Harmon, their safety, and that he's with all of the mess that's happened with the Raiders. And I know that Carr is kind of being a stabilizer, but Harmon had played 154 straight games at safety. Now you're going to pull him. The bigger bets have come in on Seattle. 68% of tickets, 70% of cash. I guess not. I guess it's pretty even. Like 68% of tickets, 70% of cash. The only concern I have here is that the market's not moving towards the Seahawks. It was after I made the bet. It got up to minus 112, and I was like, okay, good. I would like to see a 4 and then a 4.5 just to have confidence here. But I like the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Pete Carroll, nasty Nate, it took me fucking everything in my power not to block you immediately. It took every fucking bit in my power not to block you immediately. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, let's stay focused.
The Raiders are a bad football team. They've got a poor owner. I'm fucking mentally rattled for the rest of this segment. God fucking damn it. I hate the fucking Patriots. The Seahawks by 1 billion. Jesus fucking Christ. What a joke the Jets are. Fucking Zach Wilson.
Well, I'm very interested. We need a winning week here badly for us in the.
I need it. I'm going to take the Seahawks for the Cappers contest too, so I need this bad.
I want to know that this moves to 4. If this does not move to 4.5, I will not take them. Makes me a little nervous here. We're coming up on 3 minutes here. And look, I understand that it might be too many points, but I still feel like Seahawks off a bye week does have to be supported here. Joe says, aren't teams off a bye like 40% against the spread? They haven't been very good. But it doesn't seem like it would be a detriment at all, especially the late season bye. Let's see. We're 3 minutes in. Let's see this. I
feel like you'd rather have a late bye, right? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man. This might be the highest one we've had all year. Okay, we didn't get 89%. 89% on Seattle. Wow.
All right. I like it. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Rams, Chiefs. Obviously dealing with the Stafford concussion, yet another concussion. This opened up minus 15 at Pinnacle. They're offering us. What are they offering us here? It'll pop up here shortly. But it's at 15 at Pinnacle, 14.5 in the contest. This total is at 43, but it's juiced to the over. I took the under 44 in this one. Let's see what it is right now. If it's changed. Yes. Oh no, that's Buccaneers Browns down to 42.5. That pumps me up. This is down to 43. Okay, so I beat the market moves on these two unders that I'm on. We don't know who's going to be a quarterback for the Rams. We do think that Wolford will be back. Bryce Perkins was in. He replaced Stafford because Wolford was out with the neck injury. The Chiefs they're not going to pull anything fancy out of their playbook. And I think they're just going to comfortably win this football game. That's why I'm on the under. But I could understand why people would be on the Chiefs here at 14.5. I imagine they'll be heavily bet in the Circa Millions contest. We'll take a look at where the cash lies right now. It's all on the Rams. 64% of the tickets and 85% of the cash is backing the Rams. So I don't want to go up against the Sharps in this one. I'm nervous. I feel like I should make a bet on the Rams just to keep this off the card, but I won't do that. I mean, if you guys want the Chiefs, take the Chiefs. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, I lean towards the Rams just because it's just a gigantic spread. But yeah, this is a tough game. This reminds me of the old St. Louis Rams. Now, shout out to Steven Jackson wherever you are nowadays. Yeah, it's just there's not much analysis when it comes to this, really. I mean, fucking banged up squad, no Cooper Cup, no Stafford, most likely. John Wolford, no fucking thanks. Uh, ultimately, yeah, 14 and a half points is a lot of points, but it's any quarterback to do it. It's Mahomes, but yeah, just a pass game for me. Ultimately, I lean towards the Rams, but again, do you really want to go up against Patrick Mahomes because he's the number one guy? Like, if you bet against Mahomes, you're like, fuck, why did I bet against Mahomes? So
Unless he's playing the Chargers. But you're going to have Sky Moore and Justin Watson out wide. They're missing key pieces.
I think Juju comes back this week. Concussion's usually just like a week and you're coming back. So I expect Juju to come back, even though he got knocked the fuck out.
No need to rush him back here against this squad. But Kadarius Toney also strained the hamstring, so he's going to be out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's sort of lost his job already to Pacheco, but Edwards-Helaire suffering the ankle injury, and he's out. I just look. I would never take the Rams here, but that doesn't mean that I want the Chiefs at this price. And I like the under 44. I think I'm going to. Well, I don't want to get too excited, but I like that it's gone down to 43, and I'm pretty confident in this spot. And Joe saying after the Bengals KC schedule is cake. I just don't think Andy Reid cares about winning by margin here. I think it'll just be a very simple football game.
No, I agree. Why show anything on tape? Why give your enemies more to look at? So I think you're 100% right. This is going to be one of those games where like roll out the balls. Hopefully our guys are better than yours. Who the fuck is going to guard Travis Kelce in this game for the Rams? Who the hell is going to guard that fucking guy? Just need to make that note. So no Bobby. Is Bobby Wagner still in the Rams?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! What a crime! Rip Bobby Wagner. I feel bad for you, my man. You got in all the wrong times.
Well, let's see if this makes our card. I'm very interested.
Yeah, let's see. Indeed.
I bet you it does.
62% on the Los Angeles.
Okay, good.
61%. Excuse me, changed there at the end. But yeah, no Rams. And just a quick update: you have to get over 70% to make our card right now. Over 70% makes our card.
I'm happy that didn't make our card. The only one I'm really uncomfortable with at this point is our Broncos. Look, let's move on to Saints 49ers, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. That's what's next up for us. This opened with the Niners as 8-point favorites at Pinnacle, moved to 9.5. At 9.5, though, the Saints are the squad that's juiced at this point. Take a look at the cash and see if there's sharp action anywhere. And it's all over the Saints. 55% of the tickets, 80% of the cash. That would be pretty easy to guess. You're getting a chance to sell the Niners high. I moved on the first half over 21.5 at minus 105, juice to the under. I think the Saints can score. You have the Niners on a short week, leaving elevation. I wonder. I think that the Saints might have a couple tricks up their sleeve in the first half. I do expect the Niners to take control. This is a big spread that I don't know if you want to back a team off a short week after looking so good. I mean, Jimmy G, 4 touchdown passes, Kittle, 2 touchdowns, Ayuk, 2 touchdowns. Look, we talk about the weapons that the Niners have, and it's abundant. The McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell 1-2 punch is devastating. You have Deebo Samuel that not only can catch bombs, but he can be a part of some trick plays and run the ball as well. It's just this team is very, very, very dangerous. And
feeling good.
The Saints finally got a good game out of Kamara. I wonder, he was very close with Takeoff, who died from Amigos. And, I wonder if that affected him. He didn't look good in that first game after he died. He looked better in this last game, running 12 times for 42 yards, catching 4 passes for 47 yards. Peyton Turner left, was carted off the field, and then they would be so screwed because they already don't have Cameron Jordan and Marcus Davenport, but Peyton Turner turns out to be just an ankle sprain. I think I could understand both sides here, but I guess if I got a free bet, I'd lean towards the Saints plus the number. I don't want them.
Yeah, I think this has been like too long for the 49ers. I don't know. This is just might be me, but it's like a team can only go so well or cover so many weeks in a row, for me. Like obviously the Falcons starting off like 7-0 or whatever it was to start the year against the spread was kind of an anomaly and something really cool. But I just think the 49ers have been playing a little too well recently. Maybe they got to have a little step back, come back down to earth. The 49ers are not the Chiefs where they've got that consistent quarterback play every week. And Jimmy G has been playing not bad, not great, but just good, just fine. And that's ultimately, I wish what I had in my life, to be honest. But yeah, I like the 9.5 with the Saints. Ultimately, I think they're a tough team to kind of game plan for because, like, Clifford Comentini's asking, who the hell is a quarterback for the Saints? Are we getting Winston or probably get Dalton for a lot of it? But don't forget, they also have Taysom Hill who's starting to throw the ball more. So I think it's a tough team to prepare for on a short week. So I don't hate the Saints here.
I don't hate the Saints here either. By the way, it's not Davis Mills under center for the Texans this week either. They're going to Kyle Allen. Mills has been bad.
Oh, that's enough. That's cut from the same cloth as Sam Ellinger. Cut from the very same cloth. Texas A&M kid fucking sucks.
Let's see if this makes our card. Let's pop it up. Saints, Niners.
By the way, 50-50 split essentially here. I would give up my left testicle to have Jimmy G as my quarterback on the Jets next year. I would do unspeakable things to have that handsome man on my sidelines. 52% on the San Francisco 49ers. I already saw some Derek Carr bullshit. I was like, no. Let's not go down that path. But yeah, no.
I tell you what, getting Jimmy G at $7 million a season is a great price to have him at. He may get $16 or $17 million a year in the free agency market if he has a good run here. Okay, let's move on. Next up for us is the Sunday Nighter, which you can live bet with us right here. Green Bay Packers at Philadelphia Eagles. This has moved to 7, surprisingly. It was available at 6.5 for days. Let's just see the line history here in this one. Pinnacle has not moved it to 7, although that 6.5 is juiced to -113. It was juiced to -118, but it's come back 5 cents. Take a look at the cash here. I find this game very difficult. I came so close to betting the under. I'm curious to see if the unders move. Let me check on that. 56% of the ticket, 64% of the cash on the Eagles. Let's take a look at this total. Still sitting there at 46.5. I came so close to moving on the under here. Didn't do it. Showers, 11 miles per hour. Packers come in off extra rest after losing 27-17 at home to the Titans on Thursday night. They've lost 6 of 7. I thought their offense, I know they only put up 271 yards, but at least Cobb and Lazard and Watson were weapons. I really thought it's now not the weapons, it's the gun. Rodgers sucks. Sucks is a little much, but he's just not good.
Again, I wish the NBA or wish the NFL was like the NBA because I would have loved to have Aaron Rodgers on my team this year. I just think he doesn't give a fuck. He physically he's fine. He just doesn't care. Like he got his money. He's just not motivated at all anymore.
I don't think that I don't know what's going on, but this was the first game against Titans where I was like, I've just watched him miss too many receivers now, and he just doesn't look sharp. He just doesn't look trustworthy. Maybe sucks is a little much. Although Jedi for Life doesn't think it's too harsh, but
I mean he's easily the most hateable person in the NFL right now. I'd say number one. He's not even close.
I find it hard to believe that he's going to go into Philadelphia and find it.
I find it hard to believe as well, but the offense, the struggles for the Eagles is also concerning. And we've talked about the Packers defense throughout the whole year. Packers defense, we thought were supposed to be better, but I don't know. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I love the Eagles here, and I've said the Eagles are going to make the Super Bowl all year. But that's the one thing I've been scared about all year is Jalen Hurts going to come back to normal, come back to his regular Oklahoma, Alabama quarterback self. Let's see if it happens here. But I guess I'm siding with the Eagles here at home, but it's tough to bet on or against the Packers nowadays because you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to get, really.
And the Eagles don't look very good. You're right. Their defense still looks strong. I mean, they held the Colts to 284 total yards, but
a big part of this is Jordan Davis, that fucking big ass bowling ball in the middle for the Eagles. Like Billy Friedrich's saying here, you can't stop the run. Well, the Packers are a team that should run the ball like 80 times a game, but they just won't because Aaron Rodgers will check out of plays or Matt LaFleur, whoever, Mike, whichever LaFleur won't call the runs. So I hope the Packers run the ball for their sake, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball 30 times this game.
Yeah. I find this game fascinating and I can't wait to live bet it. And I'm very thankful that I get the opportunity to do that. I think that's the best angle. I mean, we're running so hot live betting. I just almost want to just do that solely, but that's why we're doing 3 games tomorrow. It's just because I'm making money.
It's all right. You're a psycho and you love money and you want to sit there 10 hours. I believe in you. I love it. We love it. We love it. Okay. We all have vices. And we love it. I chose to subject myself to Jets football. So we all have different things that make us hurt.
Let's see if this makes our card.
57% on Philadelphia. So not making our card today. And leaves us with our last game.
Crazy. Billy Friedrich says Rodgers is yet to throw for 300 yards in a game this season.
That's sick.
That's crazy. Imagine him just... the ayahuasca doesn't help everybody, I guess. All right, let's move on to the final game here. Steelers, Colts. Colts minus 2.5. Andy Molitor moved on the Colts. Steelers coming off a 37-30 loss at home versus the Bengals. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. I came close. I came very close to pulling the trigger on the Colts. I didn't. Colts open up -2, -115. They're now -2, -107. I find it wild that we would trust the Steelers on the road. And especially after what we've seen from the Colts at home, I just find this nuts. And when we come here, you've got 50. Now, we only have 1,614 tickets in. Again, the ticket count's been smaller because of Thanksgiving week. But 57% of tickets and 95% of the cash is on Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go up against that sharp money. And being shocked that this didn't open up Colts -3, then I'm seeing something wrong. The George Pickens looks spectacular. Pickett's very lucky he has him to throw to. Najee Harris looked better. But this defense did not look very strong. They let the Bengals put up 408 total yards without Jamar Chase. Now, I know this Bengals team's very strong. They also lost their center, Mason Cole. J.C. Hassenauer replaced him. But this Colts team looks pretty good. Handled the loss of Shaquille Leonard well. Held Philadelphia to its lowest point total in a year. Held the Eagles to 314 total yards. Jonathan Taylor looks ready to go. I think Pittman and Campbell are legit weapons. And Saturday has the team believing in themselves. Why is it at 2.5? Can you answer that?
Well, it helped. Well, first of all, they look a lot better because they actually have an NFL quarterback and not some slapdick back there who's only relevant moment in football was saying that Texas was back and then proceeding to fucking lose every game after that. Matt Ryan is a statue, but he's competent. I think he is good enough. And obviously, I think this game boils down to TJ Watt versus whoever the fuck the Colts throw on him. Just put like 6 bodies on TJ and hope that Matt Ryan can stay upright from there. I had the Steelers last week as well. I thought TJ could win that game on his own, and he tried. He really fucking tried.
He tried, yeah.
He fucking tried.
Yeah.
But the Bengals were just not having it. So I can't bet the Steelers anymore. We've gotten to the point where like Najee Harris is almost like a backup running back at this point. He's just not good. So give me Jonathan Taylor. Give me the Falcons because I was thinking of Matt Ryan. Give me the Colts here. And I don't know if they'll make it on my card this week, but 2.5 just doesn't seem that too bad, you know. And the coaching disparity is also hilarious in this game too. Let me tell you that.
I do not want to go up against all this sharp money on Pittsburgh. So I need a sign. I know there's only 1,000 tickets in, so I need a sign from the
What kind of
market. I needed to move to 3. I needed to move to 3. At this point, the fact that the Pittsburgh is being more juiced makes me want to pick Pittsburgh here, just so the Colts aren't on our card.
What if you walked outside and you just looked down and you saw a horseshoe on your like porch?
I'd go right to Woodbine and start drinking.
Okay. Well, you know, I thought that might be the sign, but fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's see if this makes our card. Final game on the board here. Steelers, Colts. Let's check it out.
Final game, and it is going to
Wow.
make our card 87% on the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah. Billy Friedrich says, what if you turn on the TV and you saw a horse-faced woman? I'd become aroused immediately. Let's see.
Giselle? Isn't that Giselle Bundchen?
That is, yeah, exactly.
Ooh, Tom Brady's wife's ugly and he sucks. Fuck the Patriots.
I don't know. I would focus more on him kissing his son for 7 steamboats.
Oh, that too. And let's not forget, or I just saw, he tweeted his inspiration, his son, a fucking twig. I could kick that kid's fucking ass right now.
Well,
me versus Tom Brady's kid in a fight. I'm taking me minus 300.
How many steamboats do you think he was kissing his son for?
At least 3.
I thought 7.
I would say at least 3. Unfortunately for me, I did not absorb Tom Brady's propaganda. However, I did see him kissing his son.
Yeah. No, it was a real kiss.
No, confirmed. And that guy made my life hell for the first, I don't know, what was it, like 20 years of my life? And now, I shouldn't say now, that old motherfucker, that geriatric piece of shit who I hope he breaks his fucking hip this weekend, Bill Belichick and Josh Allen are going to keep doing it. So,
all right, let's get our action up here. Can we go again with 7th, 6th, and down?
Sure. The New England P words are 65%.
Okay, second, first.
Yes, and plus 2.5. Bill Belichick really rose up on I really fucking hate this guy rankings this weekend. He just really got up there. Just incredible.
Jedi for Life, who is a pediatrician and a Doctors Without Borders who travels the world, is wondering, are you fighting kids?
I would. Tom Brady's kids, I would.
Okay. Patriots plus 2.5 was what, 65%?
Yeah. And I would, Timothy Murray, all 3 or however many kids he has, plus 800 versus me, you take me plus 800. I fucking wax those kids. 3.5 for the Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay, just say that again, Tampa Bay. 3.5, 69% was 6.
Oh, I love it, Tim. Timothy Murray got me. Okay. All right. Top 5.
Top 5. Your least favorite pick and our 5th pick, Denver, minus 2.5 at 70%. Oh, plus 8,000. Sorry, Tim. I was giving myself a little credit there. 4th, Dallas, minus 9.5 at 76%. So everyone watching on Thanksgiving, root for Dallas. 3, your Jeff Saturday led Indianapolis Colts at minus 2.5, 87%. The Chargers, 4.5 at 88%. And I guess technically is the best active Jets quarterback, Geno Smith, minus 3.5 at 89%.
God, I don't know if I should be nervous or not, but I'm on our first 2 picks. That's never happened.
You should be happy. I fucking took the Packers last week when they were the Tennessee was our number 1 pick, and I made it look like a fucking nummy. So I probably wouldn't be surprised at all if I was on the 2 top plays for us again.
Billy Friedrich says McCarthy's blood sugar going to be real low playing on Turkey Day.
Right, I bet you he's pissed. Like he's like, fuck, I can't get my fucking seconds in. Fuck.
Wow. So 89, 88, 87 makes me nervous. God, I need the Chargers so bad this weekend. It makes me uncomfortable. All right. See, Craig Wood talking about Cyvoblenzaprine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
I don't know what that is.
Billy Friedrich's calling you Mini Fists. I think that's a good nickname for you. Old baby fists.
There are pillows attached to these hands. You know, I think that's a doctor's joke. I think Craig Wood and Jedi for Life are just having doctor's jokes, inside jokes there. That's some real funny stuff right there. I'd love to have some like pharmacy jokes like, haha, you just got fucking 16 grams of dopamine, dude. Yeah, that's good shit right there.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Flexeril, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get some Tributerol after this.
Oh,
You've had a long day. You've got 10 more minutes of Canada, Belgium.
I know. I'd like to go watch it. I hope we have a chance. Do we have a chance?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but the issue is there's no tip of the spear right now. You've got plenty of possession. There's no tip of the spear to jab Tebow right in the face.
I'll show you a fucking tip of the spear, man. Let's go over our top 5. Broncos -2.5, Cowboys -9.5, Colts -2.5, Chargers -4.5, Seahawks -3.5. Is this the first time we've never had a dog?
No, we love taking favorites here. I'm not 100% sure, but I know we love taking favorites here.
Well, if we have a good week, I have a good week. So,
well, and I'll feel the same way because I going back to what worked, and I'm going back to my friends on this chat and take some Cappers contest picks. Don't think I'm a fucking smarty, and we're gonna have fun. I marked down the day when the NFL season ends, and I'm just trying to get there. I'm just clawing, scrapping, and I just want to get there.
Well, 28, 24-3 is not too bad, but we need a big week. We need 2 of them back to back.
I would love one as well.
Greg says that you may need some different hydramine.
Yep. I'm surprised you can fucking pronounce all of these. I wouldn't.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing them right.
You say it confidently enough. You put a bunch of fucking letters together like that. I ain't fucking pronouncing it. English is my second language, guys. Sorry. So apologies.
I said close. Okay, I'll take close. Okay, we got to bounce, you guys. Let's go out there and get that cash. We need a big week. 28.
No, hold on, Jimmy. I just thought of it.
Yeah.
We need Craig Wood and Jedi for Life on a show. Doctors capping. We need that. Oh my God, Craig, get in my DMs, guys, because we need the doctors capping. I need that.
Yeah, I like it. We get lots of names. Doctors Without Losers.
Yeah, there we go. We can make it almost like a Johnny Sins kind of thing. There we go. I love the thumbnail. It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Okay, I love it too. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show here because we need the votes and we do this all together. Borderless Doctoring, says Billy Friedrich. Jedi for Life, Craig Wood, Alex Ramirez, Joe. Great to have you back, Joe. Nunya. Oh, it's diphenhydramine. Okay, all right. Craig Wood, Timothy Murray. Great to have Timothy Murray back in action with us. Billy Friedrich, AOD, Sharon Pulliam, Damon Santori. Thank you guys all for putting in the votes and helping us get there. 28, 24-3 is not bad. If we go 8-2, we'll have a shot down the stretch. So let's just try to get let's try to hit 80% here for a couple weeks and
just
get that
80%.
Yeah. All right. So week 12 is here. Join us tomorrow. Join me tomorrow in a huge ball of
Join you, motherfucker. Join you.
Join me. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm gonna be alone for Thanksgiving, so it's gonna be great. I'm taking my mom to the airport at 4 a.m. So they chose my sister over me this year, unfortunately.
I get it. But will you jump on with me a couple times?
Yeah, sure. You know, I'm gonna go get blacked out drunk at Thanksgiving and lament the Jets.
Okay. Good luck with that. I'm not going to drink tonight because tomorrow is going to be very booze-filled. Very, very booze-filled. Alex Ramirez says it best. Let's repeat it. Week 12, NFL. Let's get that cash.